You know who she is, even if you don't know her name. She's the creepy girl who will kill you if you watch her ghoulish tapes. Samara, also known in the original Japanese franchise as Sadako, has become a horror pop culture icon, with various films and shows paying tribute to her and the series. She's a trendsetter in all things spooky, alongside other horror legends like Freddy Krueger, Jason Voorhees, Art the Clown, and Kayako. As the first horror movie I ever watched, it's no surprise that I adore The Ring. I can't wait to begin analysing her character and exploring her motivations, background, and inspirations, and start to gain a deeper understanding of her. So, about the movies. I'll briefly discuss the films in this video to save time. If you'd like to see detailed breakdowns of each film, let me know in the comments. The Ring, also known by its Japanese title Ringu, is a franchise that dominated the horror movie industry. It has inspired various forms of media, including games and comics. For this video, I will focus on the American film franchise, with particular attention to Samara. The Ring is an American remake of the original Japanese horror film. It was released in 2002, directed by Gore Verbinski, and written by Freddy Krueger. The film stars Naomi Watts, Martin Henderson, Brian Cox, and David Dorfman. The plot revolves around Rachel Keller, a journalist who discovers a strange tape with bizarre content. This cursed videotape causes people to die in 7 days under tragic circumstances. We follow Rachel as she tries to uncover the mysteries behind the tapes, Samara, and the reasons for people's death, among other things. It's rated a 7.1 on IMDb, so I would say it's worth watching if you haven't already. Ring 2 and Rings are sequels to the original movie. Rings is a full-length film released in 2017 and also a short film released in 2005. Try not to get confused as they share the same name. Ring 2 was released in 2005. It was directed by Hideo Nakata, with the original cast reprising their roles for the film. Her mother, Evelyn Osorio, was held captive by a priest named Burke, which resulted in Evelyn conceiving Samara. Evelyn managed to escape and subsequently gave birth to Samara. Although Samara was born, she did not cry. She developed supernatural abilities, leading to her mother believing she was an incarnation of a demon. Evelyn began hearing voices, instructing her to drown Samara, to exorcise the evil demon she thought resided within her. The pressure overwhelmed Evelyn, and she attempted to drown Samara in a fountain outside the Christian hospital. Nuns intervened and Evelyn was institutionalized, leaving Samara to be adopted by Anna and Richard Morgan. Her new adoptive parents adored her, with Anna, the adoptive mother, having experienced complications during childbirth. Samara was unaware of her abilities, feeling confused and isolated, especially on Moscow Island, where she's blamed for misfortunes and has become a social outcast. Anna sought help due to the disturbing images and worried about her mental health. Dr. Grasnick couldn't give immediate aid, but decided to monitor both, keeping them under 24/7 surveillance. Anna was treated for depression, and Dr. Scott observed Samara's powers, obtaining physical evidence by having her imprint images onto transparent film. Dr. Scott immerses himself in his work, studying and documenting Samara's powers. He concludes that Samara does not intend to harm anyone, but her actions suggest a desire to cause damage. Dr. Scott begins recording their sessions to gather more physical evidence of her abilities, but he ultimately dies. It's implied that it was Samara's powers that caused his death. The session tapes go missing, and Richard decides that the safest place for Samara is to be locked away on the upper level of the horse barn. Samara struggles to sleep, worsened by the horses. During a psychotic rage, she imprinted images into the horses, leading to a suspicious mass death. Media attention followed, and Anna returned to the hospital. After discharge, the family went on holiday to Shelter Mountain Inn. Anna snapped and killed Samara during this trip, suffocating her with a black bag, pushing her into a well, and sealing it with a stone lid. Realizing what she had done, Anna jumped off a cliff. Samara, still alive, tried to escape the well. She scraped at the brick walls, breaking her fingernails, but ultimately drowned. She remained alive for 7 days in the well, unable to scream for help. She was 8 years old and died tragically and horrifyingly. Everything started to return to normal, with the islanders experiencing better fortune and relief from the terrifying mental images. However, as you all know, she still lingers, and now with a vengeful purpose, seeking to harm everyone and anyone so long as you watch her tapes. Samara is the main antagonist of the American film franchise The Ring. In traditional Japanese beliefs and literature, onryo are spirits that harm the living by injuring and killing enemies or causing natural calamities to avenge the wrongs they suffered in life, especially by draining the spirits of the dying. Usually depicted as wronged women, they are shown as traumatic, envious, or furious about their life experiences, seeking revenge after death. These ghosts are known for their extreme vengefulness, bloodlust, and cold-heartedness. Samara fits this description, often acting brutally to those who watch her tapes. She is bloodthirsty, wanting others to share the recordings to increase her kill count even further. Her fingernails are missing because she broke them off trying to claw her way out of the well. This detail persisted in her ghost form, along with the decaying, veiny body she had from drowning. During the films, her face is mostly obscured, but in the ending of The Ring, we see it, and it isn't pretty. What are some other design details you've noticed? Is there anything I missed? As mentioned earlier, her actions and appearance resemble those of onryo, which is fitting given the Japanese heritage of the film franchise. Themes of repressed trauma and cycles of abuse are deeply embedded in her character. She was adopted, mistreated, and murdered at the age of 8. Her psychic abilities enabled her to mentally torment others, closely reflecting the emotions and torment her birth mother experienced during Samara's conception. Her ghost functions as a literal manifestation of unhealed pain and trauma. Samara is kept hidden like repressed trauma, symbolizing how many people never truly recover and instead lock away the undesirable emotions. This often leads to silent rage and blinded hatred, which is what Samara's spirit becomes as she kills without reason and forces others to witness and feel what she endured. She dies in a well, which also symbolizes repression, which is the act of pushing something underground. Samara is submerged in water, drowning, with water leaking from the TV throughout the films, indicating that trauma can't stay hidden forever. Samara's loss of control over her powers reflects how victims of abuse often struggle to manage their emotions, especially when they lack a safe space to do so. Do you have any suggestions on what her symbolism is, or anything to add? The author's intent behind Samara Morgan and her original counterpart, Sadako Yamamura from Ringu, is multifaceted, rooted in cultural fears, psychological horror, and a critique of modern society. The intention behind her character is to spark a discussion on how trauma persists and, without proper care, can lead to devastating circumstances and consequences. Hurt people hurt people. From her isolation to her abuse, she's a character forged with a severe repression of emotion and trauma. You can't ignore pain, it will come back, potentially more severe. Her character forces the audience to face fears and trauma. Samara is complex, illustrating how burying trauma doesn't make it disappear, but it causes it to fester until it destroys everything. She embodies tech fears also, creatively using technology like her cursed videotape to kill and to reveal her trauma. This tape spreads like a virus. Unlike typical ghost stories where resolving trauma ends the haunting, Samara's persistence shows that some trauma is unresolvable. Koji Suzuki described Sadako as reflecting fears of the uncontrollable in a high-tech and emotionally repressed world. The author designed Samara to embody buried trauma, critiquing contemporary media and challenge traditional norms of the ghost story. She serves as a warning, not only about supernatural threats, but also about real-world fallout of neglecting pain, isolating vulnerable individuals, and viewing media as harmless entertainment. Samara Morgan symbolizes deep-rooted psychological and societal fears. As a tragic victim and a terrifying antagonist, her character operates on multiple symbolic levels. Fundamentally, she embodies the persistence of trauma, especially when ignored, suppressed, or silenced. Her background, marked by neglect, emotional abandonment, and murder, is more than just a horror element. It serves as a metaphor for society's failure to confront the suffering of vulnerable individuals, especially children. Samara's supernatural revenge reflects the unresolved pain that has been metaphorically buried and violently resurfaces. Her existence challenges the idea that past wounds fade. Instead, they demand acknowledgement, even through destructive means. Her curse, which is spread via a videotape, adds symbolic depth. It mirrors fears about information and trauma spreading uncontrollably through modern technology. In a media-driven world, her curse is a grim allegory. Trauma can go viral, and exposure can be dangerous. Watching her tape doesn't just doom the viewer, it involves them in a cycle of fear and transmission. Her horror extends beyond the supernatural, offering a reflection on the media's psychological impact and how disturbing content can infiltrate lives without consent. Most chillingly, Samara defies the traditional resolutions of ghost stories. She's not pacified by empathy or understanding. Uncovering her story doesn't end her curse. It empowers it. This subversion encourages viewers to rethink simple notions of closure and redemption in trauma stories. Some horrors aren't meant to be resolved, but endured or survived. Her character critiques the idea that understanding trauma automatically neutralizes it. Instead, she embodies a wound so deep and forgotten that revealing it only leads to further contamination. In short, Samara Morgan remains a complex figure in horror mythology, simultaneously a ghost, a victim, a warning, and a symbol. She represents the consequences of silence, the spread of trauma through media, and the terrifying reality that some damage, once done, cannot be undone. Her story acts as a dark mirror, forcing characters and viewers alike to confront what they would prefer leave buried. What did you like about her character? Did I miss anything? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe for more content to come. Take care for now.